Major General G.D. Bakshi and Major General K.K. Sinha are joining us on the show this evening. Saurabh Shukla, Republic Partner, Editor-in-Chief, Newsmobile.in. Srijan Pal Singh, CEO, Kalam Center and Policy Analyst. Dinesh Vashni, Professor D.K. Giri, Chetan Singh, all political analysts with us on the show. Sarfaraz Vani, lawyer and political analyst, will be joining us as well. I want to go across to Major General G.D. Bakshi and Chetan Singh on the other side. First up, Major General, why is it that India's stance is making some people both in India and internationally nervous? You must have seen what happened when Amul posted that creative that seemed to target China, but not in an offensive way. It was echoing the sentiment in the country right now, given the aggressions from China. But Twitter, which is banned in China, actually tried to censor Amul's Twitter handle. Clearly, there's a sense of nervousness about India asserting itself.
You know, China has deep pockets, and we have seen how Twitter and Facebook, etc., have been genuflecting to the Chinese. But that's a minor issue. And what I would like to highlight is the fact that post, the COVID crisis, we felt China should have been guilty and on the back foot. After all, the coronavirus, which has taken a toll of over 6 million, human beings infected, 380,000 killed. I mean, they have died. So I thought China should have been defensive and on the back foot and apologetic. Instead, we find a China which is hyper-aggressive, which is, flexing its muscles all over in a very crazy display of machismo. I mean, you see Taiwan, the number of exercises they have held, the number of, face-offs with the Americans and with the others. You see South China Sea. They tried to stop the drilling of Petronas, the Malaysian oil firm. They sank a Vietnamese fishing boat, and when 2 boats were sent to rescue, they arrested those boats. They have been acting tough in the East China Sea, Senkaku Islands with Japan. Now, April onwards, they have turned the heat on India. Is that for domestic
consumption, Major General?
This is utterly amazing.
No, but is that for domestic consumption?
I am not
to strengthen Xi Jinping's position for times to come?
Look, there is... Yes. That's a very relevant question. My short answer is, there is a hierarchy of motivations that China has for doing what it has done. At the geopolitical level, it is sending a message to India that in Cold War 2.0, stay non-aligned. Do not align yourself with the United States. That's the number one message that he's trying to put across. At the regional level, he is trying to tell you, he's trying to deter India from altering the status quo in Jammu and Kashmir in terms of, our stated, expressed intention to take back POK and Gilgit-Baltistan as also Aksai Chin.
Not just that.
That is all our legal territory.
No, not just that, Major General G.D. Bakshi.
And
it is also that on the eastern side, India is beefing up its infrastructure. India is expediting certain projects. In fact, what has happened in the midst of this standoff is that India has said that nothing doing, we are going to expedite our critical, establishments and our assets which can be used militarily even further. So India is not backing down. But I want to bring in Chetan Singh also here. Major General G.D. Bakshi, you can respond to him as well. What is also quite interesting to note is that even at this time, you've got people who don't want to agree with the Indian government or with the establishment. Because this is not political as one sees. This is about India's territorial ambitions and requirements, Chetan. Can everybody at least come on the same page for this?
Correct. Shivani, absolutely. Shivani, we need to understand when it comes down to the nation's security. So we all are standing on one position. We all respect our army and we are with our army. That goes without saying. First, Second most important point, we have multiple agreements with
That
China.
may go without
and now
saying,
this
Chetan, but
status
there is a
quo,
lot
these
else
meetings
that
which
is
started
said,
at 11:30 in the
starting
morning.
from Rahul Gandhi to certain other second-rate, second-run
just give me
leaders of
20
the
seconds.
Congress party. Then there are certain, lobbies. Then there are giants like Twitter that try to, very clearly tell us that don't try to take on China. But there is no
Correct.
vociferous opposition of Twitter on that.
So I would like
By
to
all
ask from
those who
GD
are
Bakshi
extremely
Sahab.
vociferous on Twitter day in, day out.
See, I'm very delighted. I'm extremely
No,
delighted.
the question
that
is
GD
very
Bakshi Sahab is
legitimate.
there
No,
on the other
Chetan,
side.
where do the
See, I would like to
loyalties
ask
lie?
him. See, first, Twitter to certainly Amul must take an action against Twitter. First. Second most important point, you see the eastern Ladakh. That is very close
I'll tell
to
you
Gilgit.
what,
And we
Chetan,
know,
your
see, we are
responsibility
not
as
in
a
an
citizen
armed
of
war
India
or any
in
kind
a
of
standoff
confliction
with
with China,
China
but with
does
Pakistan,
not
we are
end with
always.
saying Amul should take action against Twitter. No, 1 second, Chetan. No, this is very easy. Exactly the movement that the government is trying to promote, which is that consumers should become more aware. They should be aware of what they're buying, whether they need to buy that made in China or whether they can actually buy something made in India. It is, my question is, Chetan, why can't Indians be more vocal?
Shivani
What do you mean
Shivani
Amul
you
should
help
take
me
action
understand.
against Twitter?
Shivani ji,
Why
need to
can't
understand.
you build pressure on Twitter
Amul
so
must
that
take
Twitter
an action
doesn't
that
think about doing
how
something
come
like
Twitter
this
can take an
with
action
one of our
against
prized
such a
enterprises?
reputed organization of our country, reputed organization which is contributing significantly. I was going through that how much kind of a economy
Precisely.
generation, the revenue generation happens from the Amul. So therefore, it should not be taken lightly. Our ministry, our IT ministry should also get engaged. Second most, please, if GD Bakshi Sahab tell me, now since we are strong, I am saying we are strong at Eastern Ladakh. Now what steps we should take in regards with the Gilgit? Because we know, see, it is a message, it's an indirect message to Pakistan also. When China is backing off, that means Pakistan is backing off. See, again and again, time and again, we know what kind of a terrorism, what kind of a, the ceasefire violation which comes from the Pakistan side. So how we can diplomatically win? See, at the same time, there's a sentiments which are building up against China all across the world. So I think we have played a very good move today. This marathon meeting has yielded some result. That's the reason April status quo has been maintained. But at the same time, GD Bakshi Sahab, kindly help us understand and enlighten us. We all would like to know, because you are a decorated army journal. You must let us know what should be our next strategy now when it comes down to the Gilgit, when it comes down to the POK. It is extremely essential at this given point of time to take our stand very strongly. So what is your observation about it?
You see, my observations are that the time has now come to assert our national interest unequivocally. We are a big player now. We are one of the big boys. Let's act our size. Let's act our size. We don't have to look over our shoulder to the United States or to anyone else. You are big enough as you are. Lakhs of liters, tons of water has flown down the Brahmaputra since 1962. In terms of capability, there is miles of difference between what we were and what we now are. And I would also request our Chinese interlocutors not to underestimate this country and make miscalculations, because going entirely by the Chinese strategic culture, they believe in only one strategic direction at a given point in time. Their strategic direction is towards their east coast, where all their industrial belt lies. It is directed towards Taiwan, South China Sea, East China Sea. Does China want to open a second front? Simple, logical question.